Hello and welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator with me, Kevin Sawyer. Hope you guys are all well and enjoying your Saturday evening. Let me just set a few things up before I continue. Get rid of that. Change that over to that. It's going to be a black screen. Sorry guys, give me a second. And if I go voila. That should, there we go. Right, there's been some updates of the game since I last did a upload. I've been doing a lot of off-screen work as well. We've got to roughly about level 25, and I'm just going to do a bit more of a grind tonight and see where the game takes us, so to speak. Over here, this is my own pride of joy, and it's the old Challenger, and I have got the Charger as well. Something I'm going to cover in tonight's stream. This isn't that bad boy, right? Sounds very nice. Now, there's something that's getting to me, this here. And I'm going to do it, and what I'm going to do is going to deliberately take on a few jobs. And just to show you guys, something that's been grinding my gears a long time for this game. Let's take a few jobs on. What I'll do is that's the story mode, so we'll take that one. Read that in a sec. Move it over to room 1. Any more? For any more? No bonus. No. Oh, we could take that on, I guess. Car is loud. Fix all gearbox problems, yep, take that as well. I haven't got one of these yet. I like one of these, but I haven't got one of these. I'm actually out of room now. That's why my Challenger's sitting here, because I'm actually out of room in the car space. What I might do tonight as well is I might actually do one of my barn find restorations, which is the Mazda. Move that to that one. See what else we've got. No bonus. No bonus. No bonus. No bonus. I'm going to decline all these off the bat anyway. Decline, 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 decline. Okay. Some more. Hopefully some more orders will pop in. Anyway, let's have a look what this is all about. Okay. I use my Bolton ground for work on my vineyard. Let's face it, it don't get a proper, don't get pampered. I don't, oh, sorry, let's face it, I don't pamper it, but recently it has begun to be uncomfortable. The interior also needs to be refurbished. See what you can do with it. Okay, change oil and filter. So let's see what's wrong with this thing. Let's do the old rudimentary checks. Well, I can already see what's wrong with this thing. Gearbox is knackered for a start. But we'll go for the old checks. So we'll start off with the old compression tester. See if there's anything wrong with the engine itself. Well, the engine looks pretty tired. Let's put the old onboard diagnosis tool on it. ABS module's knackered. That's all pretty knackered too. Electric tester. I think this whole thing's completely mullered, so this is going to build up quite a lot of... Does the thing even run? I doubt it even runs. I've discovered a little trick here as well. Does he want panels replacing? Let's have a look. No, just do that and do that. Well, I didn't expect it to do anything. Right. I did not expect it to do anything. Right, okay, so this thing's a dog. It's completely knackered. I can see that the wheels are smashed a bit, so we're going to be having to replace them and all. But before I do any of that, what I want to do is just do the bare essentials on the engine work. Let's take the oil out first of all. Hello to whoever's in the stream watching. Hope you're well. I've started a bit earlier tonight than normal, just because I was like, yeah, might as well start. Make a start. Return back to there. Right, okay. And something which I'll cover once we get to that point, but in this game I've noticed doing a lot of like off-screen work when you got like bodywork missions to do, and it's just like, yeah, repair or replace the body panels, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, but then because you use primer coat to... This whole engine just knackered actually. I might just take this whole thing out. What is the pass rate? So it's 100%. Starter full. Now it hasn't asked me to replace the engine. Crankshaft it's asked me to replace. It's asked me to replace the crankshaft, which we can do, even though the rest of this engine's completely smashed to bits. I'd want to at least try and get this well, my strong advisory would be to the customer right now, at least either refurbish or put a new engine in, because this thing is not going to last long. Even with a new crankshaft, it's going to be smashed to bits, which makes no real sense. But something I noticed in the off-screens games when doing the bodywork panels, and I'll show you. For instance, if we walk over to my Challenger over here. Okay. Right, say this wasn't my Challenger and I've just done a refurb on it. If I were to go and complete the job, they'd be perfectly happy with this panel here that's primer coated. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't think I'd be happy with that. I'm going to show you guys once we get to a job like that. This is going to take quite a while to do this job though. Let's see it happening. It doesn't want me to take the whole engine out, which is a bit bizarre. You know, I might just take the engine out just to, because that is just. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take the engine out on this. Sorry, my guilty conscience is just telling me I can't just sit there and just replace the crankshaft on a knackered engine. And go, well, there you go. Got a brand new crankshaft, but the rest of the engine's knackered. Of course, that one, you take that out, because I've got to take that out. And take the gearbox out. I can't understand why the guy who wants a crankshaft replaced when the whole engine's absolutely mullered. Right, okay. That should be enough, hopefully. Let's just make sure we take these out. Because it's going to go, oh, I can't take the engine out if those are still attached. No, this will not go there, will it? It's the engine hoist I need. This over here. But tonight's stream's mainly going to be try and get to the point where we've got the paint shop, because that's just getting on my nerves. The place to just repairing the panels, just having primer coat on them. There's just no way on God's green earth I'd allow a customer, you know, to just go. And I don't think a customer's going to be sit there willing to take their car if it's just like, yeah, thanks mate, but. That thing's mullered. That seriously is rehauling. I'm surprised that he just doesn't go and rehaul the whole engine. But hey ho. I'm going to strip it down and try and do what I can with it anyway. Just because it needs it. Now normally I'd do this with my own cars, but this one just is absolutely mullered. I wouldn't live with myself if I, you know, rebuilt, just put a new cam shaft into it or crankshaft into it. And went, there you go, done. Thank you very much. I'd be like, nah, I can't, you know, it needs a new engine, mate. Or at least recondition engine. And the same with the paint thing. It's just like, okay, going realistically, you know, if a garage didn't have its own spray booth, what it'd do is if it knew someone that was local, which most, you know, garages do, they know someone that's local can do some spraying, they'd send it to get sprayed. They say, look, I know someone that can do, I can't personally do, well, they claim they can do brake accident damage or whatever. What they do is they don't actually have a spray booth or anything of that genre. What they tend to do is they just go, right, okay, I'll send it to I'll do all the prep work and then I'll send it to my mate that owns his own spray shop. Hello Sinky, welcome to the stream. My eyes are ears of the stream tonight. Welcome stream Sinky. Everybody that's here, which is only Sinky, welcome Sinky. Yeah, I started early. Yeah, I thought I might as well. But anyway, they'd send it to whoever to spray it all the same colour, rather than, or spray the panels that they got the same colour. But even most mechanics would either sort of like get the panel and spray it to a colour, same colour of the car, if they were replacing the panel. I just can't live with the fact he's going to be just wants a crankshaft repair. Sorry, but I'm going to just strip this whole thing down and go break the rules, break the game and break the rules. I expect. But, you know, and I'll cover it as soon as we get a job like that, you know, unless we unlock the paint shop first. You'll see exactly what I mean. There's no way, no way that a customer would accept a job with, like, a car that's got brand new panels in it, given that it's got brand new panels on it, but they're primer coated, which so means they're not going to last 5 minutes. They're just going to be like rusty within 5-10 minutes, and then be like, well, let's say 5-10 minutes within a couple of weeks, at least. Rust will start showing, because you know they're not even, you know, although they're primer coated and even the panels are galvanized, that's bare metal facing the elements. There's no paint between it other than a layer of primer coat, and it's just like, nah. It just, the water just get under that primer coat and just the metal will start rusting very quickly, very quickly. How's you Sinky anyway? You're alright. Sorry, I'm rambling on. How's your weekend? How's the stream looking? Is it alright? Is it laggy? Sound good? Let me know. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. I might be finding myself a new profession of work. Well, found myself a new job. So this is a case of sort of like going down there and having a look round. So no more working in the horrible retail sector anymore. It'll be engineering. I'll be a storesman, just seeing goods in, etc, 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 organising goods in warehouses, etc, etc, etc. All good stuff. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. Back to what I was saying was with the oh no, what was it? It's not coming out. Have I forgotten something? Probably a spark plug. Yeah. That's stupid. That's another thing game developers need to address, because you can take a cylinder head off with spark plugs still in it. Sorry, you know, there's some of you purists out there might be going, well, that's not a good thing to do. You need to take the plugs out. Yeah, you're right, obviously, but just, you know, any mechanic worth their salt is going to know you can at least take a head off without taking the plugs out. I'm going to a lot of trouble considering the guy doesn't want this repaired like to this level. I just can't live myself leaving this engine in this state and then just go, there you go mate, done. Probably just a bug with the game. I expect if I just replaced the crankshaft it said, the job's not finished. You've left all this not done, and I'd be like, well, you didn't ask me to do all that. Right, see what we can and we can't repair on this. Well, again, I'll do a bit of repair work on the crankshaft, but mainly these. Let's see what I can clean up on that. Well, that might have fixed that, but I'm not entirely sure. Might have broken that, might have fixed it. Get it into green at least. That's in the green, so we'll leave that. Do the clutch, because that's fairly rudimentary. Wears clutches up pretty quickly. That might have broken that, or it might have fixed it. We don't know, because there's no default sound now for when it's broken or fixed. Just going to do that. It's easier. Right. Let's see what survived my brutal restoration process. Well, the engine block survived. I've done all this work. He's gonna be like, oh thanks mate, but I didn't ask for that. See the pistons. I might actually have... No, I sold all our knackered pistons, didn't I? You see, I can't live with that again. Job hasn't asked me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Rebel! He's a rebel repairer. He'd be out of business. If he even thought about running a garage, he'd be out of business. He has a conscience. Mechanics, you know, they don't have consciences. They just do what they're told. And they repair what needs to be repaired and don't repair the bits that don't need to be repaired. I'm sure mechanics do have some sort of conscience, and they wouldn't allow, you know, go, well, I'll replace your crankshaft, mate. I've got an advisory on your paperwork though, but you need to get your engine completely overhauled. Just let you know. But got a brand new crankshaft in there. Yeah, I'm sure any mechanic worth his salt would say, well, that engine's mullered. It's not even worth the time. Just either strip the whole thing down and start again, or buy a new engine, or a second-hand engine that's in better nick. I need to put the bins back in the park mount. This guy's going to go like, wow, he's giving me a brand new engine. Well, it's not brand new, partially reconditioned engine. How's the stream looking anyway, Sinky? Is it looking good? Also, I've got to keep an eye on the chat box, because I noticed last stream it was like it appeared towards the end. Didn't schedule this because I just didn't know what I was going to do. Again, that's another reason why I don't schedule, because I just do it on a whim. If I plan something, I'm just know my mind's mind. I'm just going to go, I don't want to play that now. I just hate doing stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I like planning stuff, I just don't like painting myself into a corner. That I just don't like doing. Well, I might try it at some point. Don't get me wrong, I will have to schedule one. Right. Oh, really? Oh, I want to go in there. What I wanted was in here. And for anyone that's watching in the archives later on, and you want thinking, oh, why didn't you put the old Challenger restoration on? I'd have, but I put it on my Facebook page. It's a time lapse video. That made the repair process too. That also made the repair process. This guy's gonna be like well chuffed. He's gonna be like, oh, power steering pump's gone. I think it's that one. I think. Guess. Thanks, Sinky. But like if Sinky brought a car engine, well, brought his motor to me and went, oh yeah, just do a service on it. Change the oil and, you know, filter and, yeah, cleaner and, you know. I gave it to him and it's just like supercharged engine or whatever. He'd be like, wow, cheers Kev, bye. I'm only paying for a service though. I just couldn't live with myself. I was like, nah, they can't just put an engine back together. There's half, well, strip an engine down anyway, only to put it back together with a brand new crankshaft in it, and the rest of the engine's knackered. It just wouldn't bug me. It bugged me until the game completion. What I might do is leave these bits, because again the consumables are relatively, well, someone else can repair them. They're not red. But then in my back of my mind I'm thinking, seems like half job Harry to me. If you're going to do a job, do it well. Nah. Come on. We've replaced all that engine that he didn't want replacing. Replaced for it, well, refitting. Unless it suddenly goes, oh, actually I wanted some spark plugs. I'm like, right, I'm keeping your car, mate, because that engine in there's reconditioned. Okay, some bits in it that ain't reconditioned, but majority of it is. See, in real life, that's nagging me. I don't know why. It's just putting knackered old spark plugs back into an engine that's been. Again, he didn't want any of this done, so. It's like the rest of the engine's immaculate, apart from your timing chain, your spark plugs, your cam gears, and those bits. So what have you been up to over the weekend, Singy? Since you're the sole person again. All I can do is apologise for you being on your Jack Jones yet again. Gets to me as much as it gets to you, if it's any consolation. That looks knackered. I'm not going to put that belt back on. Nah? What, just been chilling out? Working? I liked your Lucky Few video. That was quite cool. I like that. Not language in it, but well, it wasn't too bad. It's just when he first introed it. I was like, whoa, straight off the cuff. But you did put a disclaimer on there, a bit admittably. Again, knackered coils, but he didn't ask to get these replaced. I get this weird sneaky feeling that we've done all this and that he's going to go, actually, can you replace all the coils and everything in the engine? So that's shiny and clean and prepared. Oh well, it's good. It grinds us up towards level 30 anyway, which is the paint shop. And I'll no longer need to complain that yeah, why not? You know. And you put the disclaimer on there, so it's fair game. At the end of the day. Can't say they weren't warned. You might get some disgruntled parents going, oh, you're putting all this content on YouTube, da 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 da. But you're not the only one. I don't confess to being a dad, so I'm not going to sit and go, you know, it's wrong. Da, 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 da. I can understand why you did it. You know, it's just a bit of variety. There's going to be the odd. Well, look at Long Dark. He swears in that every now and again. It's not every. That needs replacing and all. I can't live with that. Knackered. Down. Did these survive? No, they did. Cool. Got repaired. This guy's going to have a sort of like fairly new engine. Okay, bits and pieces broken. Not too bad. Oh, that was silly, Kev. Try that again. And again. What am I doing? That's what I was meant to do. That. That's it. Now, did this need a flywheel? I think it does. That's what I think. I think it does need a flywheel. Even though I doubt it's asked for it, I'm still going to do it anyway. It's like, yeah, this is not a good way to run a business. You're losing money. That got repaired, so I'm going to stick that back in. Customer satisfaction, that's the thing. That customer's going to be well chuffed I've done all this work for him. He'd be like, he'll be back again. Okay, might not be back as soon as he would have been if I'd just put a new crankshaft in, but I've saved myself repetitious work of having to strip an engine down later on in the future. And it's like, oh, he's back. My engine's blown up, help me. Well, yeah. That won't happen now. He'll be like, chuffed. He'll be like talking to his mates going, yeah, he's done all that for me, da 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 da. Come on. That's what I'm putting at. We need a timing belt V8. That's a timing belt B V8. Nice. Yeah, it's a cool looking game. That reminds me of BioShock. It's the same sort of steampunk genre. Right, okay. See, the spark plugs are haunting me already. So it's V8 and it was V8 type B, wasn't it? So type B. Is that V6 type B? Yeah. That's the one. That's the one we need. I better put this all together again and he's going to be like, yeah, replace all this. Type A. Right. And I'll be like, yeah. I should have just stuck my gut and just did the whole thing in one go. So that's type A. That one. I haven't been doing much videos this week. Just again, it was a case of last week went to make a video, and then I got through the video, did it, and then I was like, And then went to go and look at the... After I did the recording, I was like, went to look at it, and it's just like, one, it was laggy. Two, it was like, there was no sound because I'd forgot to turn the mute off. Or turn the mute from off back on again, so... And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I really wasn't in the mood for re-recording. And then that just affected me for the rest of the day. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's pointless me trying to do a video if I'm not going to... I'm going to put a new one on there. This seems right. The oil filter. Unless he's having new oil anyway. He asked for oil change, so... Right, okay. Let's put the engine back in where it belongs. Why don't you let me look at the engine? Look, that's it. I wanted to look at the engine. That's all I want. Well, not the engine, but... Right, let's see what that's done. Well, let's fix a load of other problems anyway. The belts he did want replacing. The power steering belt he wanted replacing. Starter we're fixed, I think, anyway. Fuel filter done. Transfer case, I doubt I've done. The rest of this all looks like just like transmission stuff. So we'll throw it up on the ramp. I know straight away them wheels are shot. I know they're shot. But I'm just going to play the game. Let it tell me they're shot. Reconditioned gearbox back in. Can't sell it as new. That'd be... Oh, starter's broken. That didn't survive. It's not too bad. Those back in. Again, they're relatively easy to replace. Did the transfer... Yeah! So he'd be happy with that. Or she would be happy with that. We don't know if it's a male or female. There is a strong possibility I might be taking this back out again, but just for now. No, I didn't. It's something I can do now. Not that. That. That'll soon tell me if the tyres are knackered. Yeah, I think we all do. I think the best of us do it. We just hit the record button. Those wheels were knackered, I'm sure they were. And then we do our recording, and then it's like, oh, yeah, why is there no sound? And then we look at the recorder, and then, oh, that's why there's no sound. Idiot! What were you thinking? Go for a checklist next time. So we need to put a new starter in, and we need to put some oil in as well. So. And I have a bit of advice for people as well. It's just nothing. Well, it's kind of game related, I guess. From my idiotic mistake I made. If your monitor stand breaks like mine did, and you decide to go and get a new monitor stand, not a legit one from the manufacturer, but an aftermarket one, measure it. Well, first of all, measure the height you think you're going to need before purchasing said item, because once you purchased it, okay, could send it back, but then you're just going to be having to go through all the whole effort of sending it back, etc, etc, etc. I repaired that for him. Oh, didn't intend to repair that for him, but it got repaired nevertheless. This thing should start in a minute then. Check the air filter while we're here. I think the battery's also a bit tired, isn't it? Yeah, that was. It's not knackered, but it is tired. The air filter's tired. Let's have a look. Looks tired to me. 20%, yeah. Check the air cover. That also looks tired, but again, it's not a vital part of the engine, so I'm just going to take the air filter out, because I suspect that's probably highlighted it as an issue, because it's red. Anything that's red is highlighted as an issue. Anything that's orange, it's like, yeah, you need to mark it as advisory. He'll be back, but this is easy to repair. Then having to strip that whole engine back down again, and that looks a bit tired and all that rad. Not that bad. So yeah, so measure what I was saying, because I didn't measure, and I was just like, okay, yeah, all I need to do is drill a hole in my desk, plonk the thing in, and it'll be fine. So I drilled the hole in the desk, plonked the thing in, realised it wasn't even remotely high enough, and I was like, oh dear. It would have been fine, it would have been high enough if it was conventional work, i.e. just using a keyboard and a mouse. That would have been fine. You'd have slightly had to look down on it, which in its own instructions say you shouldn't do anyway, it should be eye level. So, but because of my sim dash and everything else, it was just too low, and I was like, yeah, I can't do none of that. So I had to sort of like manufacture a block of wood, so it stand on a block of wood and off the desk, so it was higher. But those arm ones don't go up as high as I thought they were. I'd say the mast ones, or the adjustable masts, are the better monitor stands, if you have to go along down that route. Let's see if this thing starts. I'm just going to put engine crane back, because we don't need it anymore. Return to sender. Let's just take window out. No one saw me do that, right? Also, I can show you another little trick, if I can do it. Actually, I might have to take the door off to do this. I don't know if I showed this in my... No, I have to take the door off to do it. Don't try this at home, kids. This is something I wouldn't suggest, but... it does start. Now how do we get down? Yeah, don't try that at home, kids. Don't climb up the... ramp and then go, yeah, far up. Back in the day, I remember you used to be able to... There's been an apprentice, you know, was just be thrown into the thing and they'd say, right, you get into it, and then we'll raise the ramp and then get you to check the brake, pump the pedal, whatever. And then what they'd do, they'd go, right, we're done. I'm going to lunch, mate. See you later. And leave you in the car on the ramp in the air. And there's nothing you could do because you couldn't open the door. Well, you could open the door and get out, but then what do you do then? You can't exactly climb down. We could jump down, but very, very tight. Especially between the door and the side here, it's very tight, and you can't sort of exactly get yourself ready for landing. So you're like stuck. Anyway, let's take this thing to the part tester. Move car to path tester. Even though I know this thing's mullered, we'll take it to path tester anyway. I don't know if he asked for tyres on this. If he didn't, I'd be very surprised. Didn't check. We didn't put any oil in this either, so we need to put some oil in this. Something else I forgot to do. This thing's running on no oil whatsoever, so I'm wrecking the engine as we go. All that work I've just done, I'm just undoing by seizing the engine up because it's got no oil in it. Before you people start going, hey, oil in it. In there. Archives later on. I've just realised my mistake. Figures it make an audible noise as well. Turn it over and it's like, that doesn't sound right. Hang on. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the oil in. No, I want to move the car. Move the car. Thank you. Back to the lifter. I'll put some more oil in it. I'll show you something else while we've got this client's car. So some of you guys that don't realise, some of you guys might not realise it's available. I expect most of you guys do. Car Saloon, that is now available. I've noticed also there's some mods available for this game as well now. Mod of a Land Rover Discovery or Defender, but I just don't understand why you'd want to come in here and buy a brand new car when there's perfectly good cars you can just buy and restore. Okay, they will have a lot of mileage on them, but if you restore them, they'll be just as good as new. This would be brand new and have no mileage on it, and they'd be like, yeah, I've got a brand new car. That's the saloon. You want a brand new car? In fact, we can do something naughty, look. So can we take parts off these cars? No, we won't let us, that's a shame. Start stealing body parts off cars in the saloon. Yeah! Sounds good. Shame I can't rev the engine and just really fill the saloon up with carbon dioxide and everyone will be like passing out because of a lack of oxygen. Anyway, go back to the garage. It's like, yeah, you've got murderous intent on your mind. Come on, game, load. Right, I'll show you the other thing. Hang on. Not that. You all know that. I'm going to go to car auctions. Again, covered enough of that. It does. I can go there. But it's very similar to 15. We'll take. Actually, should I take my. Yeah, why not? Let's just take my Challenger. Even though it's a nightmare to drive on this thing because there's no actual wheel. Because there's no wheel. And there's no control interface either. All you guys ask. Damn near impossible to drive this thing properly around a track. It's more like driving a Dodge. Try a bit of an outside view. Sounds lovely though, don't get me wrong. And it does slightly behave like a proper Dodge would on the corner. If you open the taps up, it'd step its back end out and kill you. That's why I call it the Psycho, because the thing was purely responsible in the 70s for killing a lot of teenagers. They'd go around a corner, open the throttle up, and they'd be dead. They'd be even in some of their adverts, billboard adverts, the thing would be spinning through their hedge on fire or whatever. The brakes! Dead. It's not stock wheels. Some of you guys would have noticed that by now. So hang on a minute, they're not the stock wheels. I wish they'd incorporate the steering wheel in this. It'd be a bit more enjoyable. Just to bleep the throttle into the garage would be a nice thing to do as well. From what I'm understanding now, they're more or less happy with the build, and I think they're not going to bother any more updates in the game. They think it's as stable as it's going to get, and they're just going to abandon it. Which is a shame. This could have potentially been a much better game than it is now. Could have had multiplayer, pink slip racing. Gone. That's enough of that. Let's go back to the garage. Makes me wonder what the developers, Red Rock Studios, were thinking. They think, okay, we've got a few new ideas. They've sort of like start making this game at a certain point. And then halfway through that certain point, they've come up with a load of new ideas. Rather than incorporate them into the game, they've just said, right, let's try these out as potential ideas for the next game. Right, let's take that one out for the test drive. Test track. That one. I know the gearbox and everything should be alright because we prepared all that. Should just show us some more of the bits and bobs. You said about repairing the interior, but I can't see anything on the parts list to doing that, so I'm not going to bother. Straight across there. Go around as quick as I can in this. I didn't have ABS, otherwise it wouldn't have made so much of a skidding noise. Well, it skid a little bit, but you hear the wheels locking in and out as it was skidding. Well, that's at least unveiled a lot more that's wrong with it. Right, let's repair it. This job's going to cost him a fortune, or her a fortune. I know these wheels are knackered, so... Yep, they look knackered. I bet the pads... Well, see, they're orange. Oh, the pads are broken. You see, again, my mind's telling me that's not good. You wouldn't allow a customer to drive off with a disc that rotten. Okay, it's... I think the game's like telling you it's not actually rusty, it's just damaged. If it was that poor a brake performance, you'd be like, yeah. That's 11%, so I'm going to take that out. Let's check this here. This is, no, orange. Those bushings need replacing, I know that. That spring looks knackered. So it looks like we're going to need to get a new spring for that. Does this need replacing? That's also knackered. Right, okay. I did wonder if we're going to be taking this to bits again. Right, okay. I'm going to need to take out the front drive shafts anyway. Got two people watching. Hello to the second person. Please be, keep poor old Sinky company. He's on his own in there. He doesn't bite. He's like me. Very, very friendly person. Even on if you're on a smartphone, if you just scroll down past all the bits and bobs at the bottom there, you can still type in a message. Just you have to do a lot of scrolling first. Well, got to get that bit done. I wonder if that's knackered. Let's take it out as it's there to be taken out. What do you mean? Can only be taken off? I'm under the car. Stupid game. There's another thing that winds me up in this game. Wind me up with the original one. That also looks a bit tired, so we'll take that out. We need to take that end link off before we can take that out. That spring also looks red. Even though my whole, you know, I'm starting to try and ignore my own self to just refit the whole car, because it's not asking me to refit the whole car. Even though it's like, hey, I brought in my 4x4 and now it's brand new. Thank you, sir. But I want to pay you for this amount of work. Oh. But the engine just needed to be done. There's no way I could leave that, leave the shop with that sort of amount of damage to it. Especially if we're going to have to strip it all down anyway to get the crankshaft out. Right, that's that back end. Oh, stop being silly. Get me off the wheel off. That's all I want. That wheel off. Right, see this. No, it's again, that's not red. That's red. That's orange. That's orange. Surprised about old Bruce Forsyth as well. Mind you, he's had a good innings. Was it 89? Was it 89? Nice to shoot, nice you shoot dead. That's disrespectful. Good entertainer. That looks tired as well. He will be. I think he's sort of like, he's a bit like I've forgotten his name now. Not Ronnie Corbett, the other one. Ronnie Barker. He worked on for a fair amount of time as well. Mind you, so did old John Ford, if you think about it. He did a fair amount of work. He was, you know, he wasn't as old as Bruce was, but that's because he drunk himself to death. Anyways, this is steer clearly away from the morbid discussion I can see us going down. Actually, did I need to take that off? I'm pretty sure I didn't. I did. Autopilot. Did the exhaust? I reckon it. No, it's just orange. Like David Dickinson. Orange. Orange. That looks red. No, orange. Orange. Like David Dickinson. Orange. Orange. Nah, need above over them landmen. Is there anything over here? It's natural. That spring looks tired. That looks a bit tired. No. 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 It's deep. My mistake. The spring does look knackered. That cap looks knackered and all. That's again orange, so I can leave that. Can't examine the tank, not without taking it out. Again, those look a bit tired, so we're taking them out. As long as it doesn't hide a load of bushings in there, because otherwise I'll be right miffed. It's like, yeah, the thing's wrecked, but you're worried about bushings. Anyway, let's see if we can repair any of that. Doubt it. No, don't need to worry about the brakes. Those we need to worry about. That. I would worry about the brakes in real life. I'd be like, I would strongly advise you to get them repaired, and I can't let you leave the shop until you do, because they're just dangerous. But this isn't real life, so didn't these need pads? They did. So needs 3 sets of pads. Perfectly good pads, but on a rotten disc. Makes no sense. 3 pads, not 4 pads, Kev. Almost got caught out. See again. A rotten caliper and a rotten slave cylinder. Makes no sense. Oh yeah, that's something I've also got to do. Actually, do I have to do that? Has the client asked for new tyres and rims? I'm going to check now. Steering rack. Rubber bushing. See, I knew there'd be some rubber bushings in there somewhere. Brake pad. Sway bar and link. Rubber bushing. Rear spring. Rear drive axles. Brake pads. Yeah, rim classic 09. There's one at least. Fuel filter, done that. You can't be telling it's, yeah, there they are. Off-road tyres, right, cool. Okay, I knew I was on the right track. I knew there's no way he's going to allow that to go out the shop with them tyres knackered. And then wheels knackered at the same time. We might be able to repair the wheels. There's a strong possibility. I'm not saying we will, but you never know. Give it a... Definitely give it a try. Tyres, no, they just have to be thrown away. Burnt. Or remoulded. It's the last one. It is. So we'll do that one. Let's just make a note of the tyre size. We'll have to wait and Sinky back up and go, Sinky, what was the tyre size again? Well, I can't repair the rims. That's a shame. So it looks like I'm going to have to get some new rims as well. First of all, I need to find out what rims they actually are. So they're Rim Classic 09 and they're 20 inch and a 0 EQ. Remember this, Siki. Rim Classic 09 20 inch. That's all I need to remember. Rim Classic, wasn't it? Rim Classic. That's not. Was it? Was it 9? No, I can't remember. Can't be 20. So I told you to forget. Room Classic 09. Room Classic 09. Oh 08, 09. And they were 20 inch. 0 EQ. No, I don't want 5 of them, I just want 4. Right. That's the first bit done. Now I need to find out what tyres there were. So they were off-road type B, 275 by 50 by 20 inch. So it's off-road type B, 275 by 50 by 20 inch. Right. Let's order order tyres. I know I'm going to forget. My brain just go no. I know it's offside road B. I need 4 of them. Not 5, 4. They were size 20. Now what was the other bits? Is it 255? By 30? I can't remember. Told you I'd forget. Scattered brain Kev. Oops. Try again. Right, so 275 by 50. 275 by 50. Two 75 by 50. Nearly 4 of them. Now 20 inch. No, I don't want 5, 4. Bye. Right. Need a notepad and a pen, yeah. Thing is, the notepad thing won't work if you're in that shop thing. That's stupid. I wish you could. That's something developers need to incorporate. So if you're in here, you can then bring up your notepad that's here. Hang on, I'll come back out of there. So bring that parts note into the inventory. So you can add that in, and then when you're in the shop, you can call it up just for goldfish mines like mine. This makes it a bit easy to remember. It's a nice shiny tyre. Nice shiny wheel. Take it away. Balance that one. Still. Thing is, in real life, again, if you were sitting there ordering a part, you could see the tyre and sit there and just go, and then. But again, you would in the garage. You'd just make a note of the size of it, and then goes up to the stores and go and get the tyre. If they had their own tyre shop. If they didn't, then they'd just order it via whatever. Either the third person or take, install. It's the last one and all. All shiny and clean and new. That's maybe something I can think of in the future. The developers ain't gonna put this in, which I doubt now. I think they've, like, I've heard several other YouTubers say that's it. They've probably given up doing anything else with this. Mind you, they was going constantly at it for a week, and it was like almost an update every day. So they might just be giving it a bit of a rest, but I doubt it, knowing this game's history. Right, so what? We need to place like other bits, don't we? Or do we? Excuse me, peeps. I'm sure the springs need replacing. Yeah, they did. That needs replacing. That needs replacing. That's still in relatively good shape. That one needs replacing. Obviously that end link needs replacing and all. Rotate that while we're ahead. Just spotted that. Let me have that. Oh, that's because I've got nothing. Take that. Take that. Take that. That also looks a bit tired. No. Again, it's not red, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Is that red? Nope. Orange. So leave it alone. Leave it alone unless stated otherwise. I restored his engine for free in as well, in a sense. So, you know. That needs to be taken out. It's only because he sounded like a farmer. It's like, yeah, driving around the mall, should have wrecked this thing, I know, but it's just a work vehicle. But, you know, you might need that vehicle day to day to go around the orchard picking with a trailer full of, like, apples or whatever. Or go down to the, you know, check up on the pigs or cows or whatever. So, can we repair any more bits? Just have a look, make sure we can. See, I don't want to repair those, but I just think it's pointless because he's not getting the brake discs repaired. If he's getting these replaced, I'd say yeah, repair the calipers as well. But as he's not doing that. Oh, did we do that? We didn't, did we? Front axle, and those are also tired. So need to get a complete new set of. Mind you, is that on the list? Am I going a bit mad again, guys? Am I just? Well, I'm going mad. We all know that, but you know what I mean. Am I just overseeing something here? I gotta make sure it says. Excuse me. Sorry. That part's not discovered, which fills me full of woe straight away. It can't be the brake servo because that's on there. So I'm gonna have to rip the whole thing to bits to look for that part. Let's see if there's the double wishbone. It doesn't appear on here. It does not appear on here. Rear shock absorber. Rear shock absorber. Rear shock absorber. Rear spring. Rear rim plastic. Belt. Oil filter. Power steering. Gearbox. Starter. Transfer case. Front drive. Front drive axle. Inner. Outer tyre rod. Sway bar N link B. Front shock absorber cap. Ah, here we go. Yeah, okay. Sure, the springs are probably on there and all. So we'll separate the parts. Separate parts. It's mainly the springs that are knackered on these, isn't it? So that's alright. Springs knackered. Caps knackered. So a set of springs and a set of caps. That's what we really need. Again, doing this on a budget, even though my mind's mine, if you're going to put a new set of caps and springs in, you might as well put a new set of dampers in as well. But, again, front to them. Twisters are just, well, fairly knackered anyway. If they were in good nick, then I'd say no, it just needs a new set of springs and caps, mate. But as they're just as knackered as the rest of the suspension, you might as well just replace the whole lot. Okay, Sinky, thanks for dropping in, mate. Have a good day at work. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, like kill a few customers. They're getting to you. It's like, yeah. Don't take it personal on retail. You know, we're human. We have feelings like everyone else. We might come across as a bit miffed, but that's because we've been dealing with rubbish all day long. It's like people going, well, you chose the job, yeah, but in some cases it was not down to choice, it's down to necessity. You know, I know of some people that sat on the dole for so many years just because they couldn't get the job they wanted, and I'm like, yeah, that won't pay the bills. By saying that, some people do get their bills paid for. But that aside, I need to get a front axle, don't I? Oh, cops and taxi drivers. That's not too bad then. Yeah, they're gonna pretty much leave you alone, aren't they? You might get the odd occasional drunk in, but As long as they're not the aggressive drunk, then you're probably alright. Mind you, probably suspect you got security. All those bushings are knackered, so they're going to need replacing. As long as none of these little bushings are knackered, I have to check these out. Because these are sneaky. You can't see them. God, this job has taken me such a long time. An hour and a half just to do one job. I've whittled on a bit, admittedly. Sway about NB. It was a big old job. It's almost like a barn find in itself. Right, brand new one of them, and it was a front axle. There's another thing that annoys me about this game is the transmission is in with suspension. It's not suspension, people. It's transmission. It's a chassis. Okay, it is part of the underside of the car, and ultimately, sort of like goes alongside with suspension. Yes, I admit, but it's not suspension. You wouldn't use a drive shaft to shock this, well, as a shock absorber, and you know where I'm going with this, peeps. What? I don't know. And he wouldn't use a shock absorber as a drive shaft. It just, you know. I just wish the developers would talk to a mechanic. Actually talk to a mechanic. And go, you know, this is how it is. They've come a long way, don't get me wrong, in this game. But it could have done so much more with this game. Right, that needs another drive shaft, and let's get one of them. You know, I'm not expecting them to go down the route of, oh yeah, let's go down the route of having to tap and die a manifold out. No, you know, you don't see that in real days. Now, it's, you know, mainly just throw it away. They just replace the whole exhaust system rather than repair it. But I still remember the days where I used to try, actually, where you try to sort of get a downpipe off of a manifold, and if it sheared the bolts off or whatever, you'd have to get your tap and die out and easy out, just. Put new studs in, etc, etc, etc. Now, do I need a new one in here? Yeah, I'm going to put a new one on in here. It's probably going to trip me up now and say I put the wrong one on the wrong side. Which makes no sense. And again, I might need to double check that. Out the tyre rod. Because something's beginning to nag at me like it's not legit. And it's going to go, oh, you need to change it out. Oh, that's also knackered. That's fine. Front drive shaft A. Still bothered the fact we're putting this thing back on the road and it's got wrecked. Great. Again, left-handed front wheels, which is unusual, but never mind. Again, that's alright, so we'll throw that back in. Well, it's not alright, but it's alright in according to the game. That one's knackered. This is where it tells me that actually both you wanted them both replaced. Okay. Glad I've got this one done on the screen or on stream, because this is quite a long, lengthy one. This would have had probably would have had to do a two-parter on the episodes wise. Such a long. Well, made a start on it and then got to a point where I was like, well, okay, got this far, I'll leave it at that. So I need 2 rear springs and 2 caps, I expect, and 2 shockers. Or is it 2 or just 1? No, it's 2. Oops, it's gone too far. So we go down to 2 of them. No, I think there's another end link thing that he's doing as well, isn't it? 2 of those. At least 1 end link. I suspect the other one might need doing as well. And those, got to remember, got to do those bushings as well. The old Katie bushings. Hang on, I'm bored. Oh, okay, they're 2. That didn't help. 2 of those. Buying the wrong parts does not help at all. Two of those. 1 in. That go in. Got a brand spanking new one of them. That I don't like. The fact that it lets you put the wheel on before the suspension's been rebuilt. Okay, you can technically get a way of doing that in real life, but in the game it's very easy for you to forget where you were and then just put the wheel back on and go, okay, that'll do, and then realise when you try to complete the job that something's missing. Throw that in, and then we need some cake bushings along here, don't we? So throw one in there. There was no cake bushings on this back end, was it? It's just the front end that needed to do. Memory serves me right. I'll double check. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Again, it doesn't look good in mine, but it's good compared to what the game wants. It's not red. Right, this on. Spanking new. Feel like a rear drive axle. Feel like a charlatan. It keeps on going round in the back of my mind. Sorry guys, I keep going on and about it, but it just does. It's just because I was brought up to repair stuff, not to just botch it. And if I'm living with it, then yeah, I'd botch it and then think, right, okay. But even if I was like driving it, I'd think, well, I'd make sure it's at least safe to drive before driving it out, rather than just botching it up and then driving it out. What drive was that? Rear drive axle. Purely because, you know, it'd be a case of like, yeah, oh yeah, that's fine, I'll just botch it like this, drive it out, and then, whoa, I'm dead, or I've just killed someone else because I've got no brakes, or I've just mounted against, you know, lost control and went through a shop window, potentially killing whoever because the front suspension's all wrecked. Cool. Right, what else do we need to do on this job? So the ABS module, I suspect that's probably the brake module as well. Rubber bushings, they're the 4 rubber bushings around the front. Brake pads. See, I knew that would kick. I knew it. What did I tell you guys? Yeah, sway bar on the other end, I suspect. That. Some more rubber bushings somewhere. Oh, okay, fine. I knew this was gonna do this. I said to you guys earlier, didn't I? I said, I bet you go, oh, you need to replace them. So that was good. Don't go back on, actually, while I'm at it. Even though I went to all the effort of repairing his engine, still gonna get finicky about the other bits. So we'll take that bit back off again. And we'll take all these Kate bushings out while we're at it. Come on, over here. Over here. There. Now we need to put 4 brand new Kate bushings back in. And a brand new end link because it's been facetious. And I can't be bothered to take one bit off to replace it again, so I'll just put brand new one in. Again. Zoink. Oh, and that one's another brand new kick machine. Right, so brake pads it wanted to replace this at the back. I'm sure we replaced it. Hang on. Okay, obviously we didn't replace them. That was probably my bad. We had this wheel off. go to the part shop and get another set of brake pads. Brakes! Brake pads! 1 set, thank you. You know, it makes no sense to put a perfectly new pair of brake pads on a very knackered disc. Well, it's half knackered in the grand scale of things. In real life, if that was what it's portraying damage-wise, it would be wrecked, have no braking force at all. But I'm guessing it's just like a generic state. It's just like in real life, if it was like less than 50% worn, it'd be some scoring in the disc. You'd see maybe a little bit of what's known as warping, so the disc wouldn't be wouldn't be flat. It'd be slightly warped, and all that other good stuff. So that, you know, you might get a bit of biting issues as it's driving along. If you ever have a car going along and it's sound like there's a squeaking noise is coming out from one of the wheels, it's probably because where the disc's slightly warped, so it's touching against the pad, so it's going like that or whatever. And it's just biting onto the brake pads, hitting against it. Excuse me, sorry guys. So it's just, yeah, I knew it's that bit here that needs to be taken out, so I'm going to take these bits out. Once you rebuilding his engine for him didn't help us in our scheme. To repair anything. Nope, I didn't think so. So I'm going to need to buy a new module. Brakes. One of them. And one of them. Very expensive. Part mount. Brand spanking new one of them. Brand spanking new one of them. Cool. What else did this guy want? Oh, that brake servo needed repairing, didn't it? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that was also needs repairing. Or replacing, depending on what happens next. Oh, replacement then. That's a shame. 'Tis a shame! Right. Brake. Servo. There we go, mate. Brand spanking new. We did put some oil in this, didn't we? I'm sure we did. Double check. Yeah, I did. I doubt so. And what else do we need to do on this one? Sway bar end link B. Oh yeah. Again. Oops. Come on. Wake up, keyboard. Thank you. This other side. Need new ink link D. Yeah. Even though it's 47%. End link B. It is. Suspension. Doink. Done. Right, what else do we need doing on this job? So we've got Kate bushing somewhere. It's replacing. I've just done that. Oh, it's the rear ending. So it's probably the other end of that rear ending we need to replace. Ah, fine, I'll replace them and all. That's it. That's not too bad then. Could be worse. I'm expecting a lot worse actually. Oh yeah, I did miss it. That looks a bit tired and all. Again. All he wants is this replacement. Oh, I'll have to take the wheel off to get to it. Stupid, but I know. Right. This job's waiting way too long to... Right. Then link. It's like taking you 2 hours to do one job, really? We need a... one of those. One of those. Oh. That just help your brain just go. Oh, excuse me, guys. Just going out, yeah. This probably doesn't help. Tiredness, maybe. I haven't been sleeping. I don't sleep well anyway, but I've not been sleeping very well at all. Normally, I get at least 5-6 hours in sleep. I've not been getting that recently either. There. It's like an hour of sleep, and then wake up, another hour of sleep, and then wake up, and another hour of sleep, and then wake up, and then maybe 2 hours sleep, and then wake up. Right, that's that done. What else do we need doing? Is it rubber bushing? I think I see it anyway. It's that one at the back, that back arm. Knew this job would get pedantic on me if I just started being generous with it. That's what happens with these things. You think, right, I'll just do them a favour, and then it just bites you in the bum. Quite literally. I think that's it, it's all done. Oh. Apart from those inner and outer tyre rods. Which side were those on? This side, I bet. What's the money? Side I put the old ones back on. Yeah, I knew that was coming. So I'm going to take the wheel back off in order. That's what I find annoying too. You should count that you move things around and put things where you shouldn't have been. But when you got a big job like this on, excuse me, it should take that into account. I think 15 had that. Towards the end. That won't let me me put the bits back on. Part one. That'd be white. Well, oh. Okay. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's throw it back on. Throw it back on. Job done. Right. Right, that's that done. That job was immensely long. What was wrong with this anyway? We had this job here, didn't we? Car is loud. Fix all gearbox problems. I don't really know what's wrong with that. Probably gearbox and mullered. Mind you, that's, you know, almost pushed us up to about 19,000 odd. We only need so many more points now till we get to the next problem. Next stage will get us to 26, level 26. Don't know what you can buy at level 26. Not a great deal. Wow. I see a problem there. See the gearbox is knackered. So I might as well just jump over here if I can. Take the drive shaft off. Take that one off. Oh, starter. I'm a twisted fire starter. Copyright strike. And that's knackered too. Come on. I don't really see what's wrong with it. It's down on right, down pipe. That's a bit that's knackered. Nice. Right, that one. Right. Let's do the old cheeky. No one saw this. Oh yeah, that's right, because I took the starter on. Idiot, Kev. Because it won't start. Because you take the starter out and the gearbox out. Num 2. Right. Done that the other day. It's like, why's it not starting? Oh, that's why. Let's go and see what we can repair. We don't need to repair the starter. We don't. So it's going to need a gearbox. Okay. I don't think we need a. Right. Hang on. Let's have a look. So gearbox. Gearbox. I wonder if gearbox is still about. The developer's gearbox. They used to make the old Toka racing games, didn't they? I'm sure we've got one of them already, so we're going to need one of them. And one of them. And that one of them. What else? I could walk my character forward as well. Oh, flywheel. Idiot, Kev. Of course, you need a flywheel too. Even though it's quite rare that the flywheel would go. The only reason that would be going is if the starter started chewing it up. Because then you want to look at the starter to see why it's chewing it up. Throw that back in. And that is a brand spanking new one. Reconditioned. Throw that in. Whoa. Discovered this as well. Nice little way of cheating it. Get the camera angle just right and you can just do it at that end. Side jobs are good and exhaust manifold V8. So I need to bring that back down. And go back to engine. Smack my elbow on the chair. Ouch. Exhaust manifold. And that one. I wanted to show you guys the rotary engine. I guess I'm gonna have to do that in another episode. Throw that in. Oh, and I forgot the starter. Idiot, Kev. See, he's just tired. That's what it is. It's like any excuse to do it yet. Throw it in. Let's try to cheeky try and start it up now. She's alive! It's a shame I can't bleed the accelerator though. Just bring that into the game. A wheel option and the pedals so you could just bleep the accelerator. Give it a bit of a bleep. I'd be a lot happier. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And if you did, and if you guys also enjoyed watching it in the archives later on, hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. And sorry if I missed you again. And if you did enjoy it again, please feel free to like. And if you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, again guys, feel free to share. It helps me out a lot and I don't mind you guys sharing. And if you're all new to my channel and see future episodes of this or anything else that I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you all next weekend. Have a good week. TTFN.